Okay, so we are live on many channels. This is Rene Manfre, and I'm based here in New Orleans, Louisiana. Today is going to be a great topic on real estate investing, real estate strategies. I have a good friend of mine, Lanay. She's having some mic challenges. It's 6:30 Central Time here where I'm at, and so we're waiting for her to pop on. But we're going to have conversations on basically everything from some wholesaling deals that we're working on with clients and the challenges that people are going through or why people are coming to us through our different resources. I have a couple of renovations projects that are going on right now also that we found is really good deals. And we're based in Louisiana. So Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida is really my main topic and strategies as we're looking for either investors who want to invest into these areas. They're not. They're looking for real estate ideas or strategies. Um, so let me try to add her to the channel right now. Hold on. Good morning. Good morning. Nope, I can't hear you. God dang it. So Lene's having some challenges right now. We are live, Lene. So just I'm going to keep you right there as a figure until you figure out the mic. So Lene and I have been friends for several years. Both of us are real estate licensed agents in the area of Louisiana. We specialize in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida. We're open to other areas. Most of our investors and our deals come from these areas. So as we're starting this presentation today, or in this opportunity to really talk about some things that are going on in real estate wholesaling. So we're waiting for Lene to see. So it looks like you're. Um, so I'm trying to see what I can do on my end, but I can't see. You checked your settings. Is there anything around the mic area? So you can't see anything on your end. Let's see. Edit mic settings, but so I don't know if I don't think it's on my end. It looks like on my end you're open. You're good on my end. So okay. So as we're waiting for Lene to get the mic situation, we always have some type of technical challenge. So that's why we should practice on this sometimes. But last night we decided to let's do. Our schedules are all over the place, and trying to do this over the last few weeks has been challenging. So I said, let's do this early in the morning before the phones start ringing, before people start doing anything. And so this will be a great time. So Lene and I, if you go to my channels on either YouTube or
Hello.
okay, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm using my phone mic.
That's good. That's good. Hey, you can use whichever way. So good morning. Did you have your morning coffee?
I do. I have it right here. Can you hear? I'm not sure if my sound's coming across.
No, I can hear you perfect. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, so I can hear you and I can see you. So that's
Okay, we're halfway there.
that's all. Sometimes you
Well,
might
good
have
morning, everyone. We
so you
found a
might have
way.
to use different tools and different things at the same time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So good morning,
All right.
Lene.
Good
We
morning.
should call this Rene and Lene show. So we're trying to figure out.
That's going to be a tongue twister, I think.
I need to get some music in the background, things of that nature.
The clown music.
So let's kind of start again. We're live. We're live on LinkedIn. We're live on YouTube, Facebook. I'm not sure if we're live yet, but we have different channels, and this will be posted to different channels over the course of the next few days. So Lene Stockstill and myself are from Louisiana, New Orleans area. Lene has been in real estate for at least 20 years. if you don't
Uh,
mind.
maybe since 2000. Well, no, before that, but 2012 officially when I became an agent.
Okay. So you were doing real estate investing before that?
Yes.
So I've been doing this pretty much right
Exactly.
around 2000. So we have a lot of scars. We have a lot of stories. We have a lot of successes and failures. So we're all across the board. That we've done renovations. We've done a variety of different projects. We've dealt with a lot of different clients. So today's topics is really more of talking about wholesaling, maybe some real estate investing strategies, some of the things that we're doing right now currently. And what we're looking for is we're looking for investors. We're looking for clients who are either in some situations where they may be looking for some guidance or help or services in some way, whether it's financial or whether it's just guidance through, because some people get to the point to where they're wanting to get into projects. Right now, on my end, I'm dealing with two renovations. I'm also looking for RV. We're doing some RV and truck parking numbers across different areas of the states that we're looking for um, uh, 10 acres plus, and it's all about numbers when it comes down to doing anything, right? So Lene is a numbers person. She is incredible when it comes down to really understanding some of the strategies on getting wholesalers, the conversations with them, or foreclosures, or people who are just kind of coming through. So today's really kind of talking about some different deals that we're working on, or you're working on, Lene. So
Right.
tell me a little bit about yourself, what you feel at this channel, what you want to get across for this morning.
Um, well, I born and raised in Louisiana, West Bank, Belchase, Gretna, big family, oil field, that kind of thing. Got into real estate after having my first child. Well, I was in it already minorly, and then had renovated a house. Had already had a condo and things like that, and then I sold that condo, got investment properties when I had my first child, and then I was like, all right, let's just go all in and figure this out. And how can I do that? I'll become an agent. I don't know if that was the right step, but I certainly learned a lot doing it. Um, because it is a journey. So now I have moved more into the point where I want to be more of an investor and less of an agent.
Gotcha.
So I joined this group and I started learning about investing. And I've been doing that for a couple of years now. And here we are. I've renovated other houses since. I have rentals. I have an RV park. Um, and yeah, just kind of trying different things and seeing what works. And some things do. And that experience has brought me here. And now I am more focused on solving problems for other people, maybe doing some deals here and there when they are the right ones. But overall, just trying to keep the client in mind when they're coming in for help, no matter what their situation. But I like these properties that they want something other than a traditional listing, and there are different reasons for that.
Hmm.
Some Yeah, some people are in a hurry. They need the speed, whether it's, facing foreclosure or um, they just want to be done. They're tired of tenants or their house. They don't want to list their house because it's a hot mess because they rented it out to tenants and they destroyed it and they don't want to put it on the market. Um, there are a lot of different reasons. It could be a succession and there are a bunch of people involved and they just need to get it done, those kind of things. There's a variety of reasons. Because people always say, well, why would they ever sell for below market?
Right.
And those are some of the reasons you run into.
Let's talk about that. So it is kind of a concern or a question that when you're doing, you have ads and you have leads that you're collecting, and these are individuals who are going into our landing pages and things of that nature to request help or service, or if they see the opportunity of buying, we buy your houses for cash, right?
Right.
Um, and they're coming to you on the premises of, okay, this is the deal I got, this is how much I want. then you go through a process with them, asking some questions so you can kind of understand their current situation to figure out which way to direct them. Correct?
Right. I mean, I can show you the process of
Yeah.
where they come in from. So predominantly, most of the leads come in. They're pay per lead. I'm not going to tell you where I buy them, but I
Right.
will show you the process they go through. So I have a machine. It's basically a follow up system. I
Mm-hmm.
use via Airtable. So this is someone who came in. Um, I should block out the address, but anyway, he came in via. Oh, I haven't shared my screen, huh? So let me do this.
Just watch. Whatever you feel like, whatever you feel comfortable sharing. So that's up to you.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Let me go ahead and get that. I'll just get his. I'm not going to show you the machine because that's kind of a pain. So basically, what happens is he comes in, or this lead comes in. I verify that the person owns the house in the assessor records. I then accept the lead, and they go through a follow up system, a 5 day follow up system.
mhm.
And then to try and get them to say yes, are they looking to sell their house? So for 5 days, they get phone calls and messages and emails asking, hey, did you, I'm following up. You raised your hand asking for an offer, and I'm just following up because you asked for this.
Correct.
So this person that I just spoke, he came in June and into the system, and we started following up immediately. It turns out he has a house that he bought between family members, and he wanted to. He's just tired of it. He thought he'd be there more. He thought his family would come and visit. He lives in another town,
Wow.
um, and I think the situation just changed. The family doesn't go as much over there to visit. And so he's renovated this house. He was replaced everything. So typically this is not a candidate. And what I told him is I said, hey, your house is in excellent condition, just about. You're ready to sell. Why don't you list it? That is going to be the thing to do to get ROI. What you want, if you want ROI and time is not a factor, which he said time was not a factor, then you should list this house.
Right.
And I will tell people that because, I mean, that's the honest truth. If your time is not a factor and it's in great shape, list the house and list it at a price that it'll move. Um, he even had an agent come out that he met with, and she gave him a value, and a good agent. I know this agent. And so, but he was still talking to me. So I said, well, I can't, as in the wholesale investor realm, I can't offer you more than 150, though this house values at maybe on the open market. If you want to go fast, you might sell it between 215 and 225. But
Wow.
you have to,
That's close to 80,000 approximate numbers, 50, 50, 60, 70,000 he's leaving on the table.
right,
Okay.
right.
So he knows
And
your number and he's
that's my
still
number.
that's your,
150 was my original number.
and he
And
knows that the house could be potentially sold for 225
yes,
if he
I
listed,
told him that. I told him that.
but he's still sitting here conversing over what, last 6 months, I think.
No, no, just the last 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay. So, but he's still conversing with you because he's still, but he's never, did he ever list a property or is it still just sitting
No,
there?
it's still just sitting there. So we
Interesting.
then, we then, I said 150, and I thought, there's no way. Maybe I can, maybe we can figure out another situation. And I said 150. He goes, 150 is not out of the realm of possibilities, which totally floored me because I thought it was. And that's the thing too, is you just never know with people what the number is in their head, right?
Correct.
So I obviously was close to his number.
Okay.
So I said, you know what? My partner's going to come over there and look at the house. Because the truth is, I'm offering on property totally sight unseen. I'm going based off of what their numbers, what they're telling me. And what I figured this house needed was maybe $1,000 worth of work, tops. He had done new everything. So I got the pictures back, and this house is ready to go.
Mm.
He really did everything he said, and that is not always the case.
Right.
So I went back, and he had a shed in back. So I looked at the numbers again, and I said, okay, I could do maybe 155 because I have to play by the numbers. The numbers have to work on our end. And yes, people are like, oh, you're leaving, there's 80,000 on the tables. Well, if you're buying it, if you're using hard money or you're using other investor money, unless you have your own, you are paying for that money. And that
Correct.
factors in, and so does the time that you're going to hold this property. And the truth is, this is an uncertain market. So even if I buy this house, we use hard money or we use investor money, either way, you're looking at maybe $30,000. That's if you sell it at the top of what you think it's worth.
Correct.
Right. Now, if it goes down from there, well, you're taking a hit from there. So the investor will make money, or the hard money people will make money, and you'll
Mm.
make some money. But I should be, those are the numbers that you're looking at. And what a lot of people don't factor in is the cost of money and those
Correct.
holding costs. And you're closing twice. You're closing to purchase the house, and then you're closing again and paying realtor fees. And yeah,
Right.
people are like, oh, well, you'll pay yourself realtor fees. Well, it doesn't matter who gets paid those fees. Somebody's getting those fees.
Correct.
And I don't know that I'm going to list this house if it comes to that, because I'd rather work on the deals rather than listings. I'd rather secure the deals and work on getting more deals than worry about getting more listings in the door. I mean, getting listings sold, especially in this market. So let somebody else chase that.
Right.
But anyway, that's kind of where I'm at with that. Um, so I called him back. I sent him a contract because he agreed at 155 and that we would help him sell his furniture. But he wanted to look at the contract. So I sent him the contract, and then he kind of flatlines, which isn't surprising. A lot of people do this. It's a big decision. And what you have to realize is people have other people in their ear.
Oh yeah. All the time.
So I talked to him again. I talked to him on Tuesday, and I said, hey, so what's going on? And he goes, I got all these people in my ear, which is not surprising to hear. He goes, they're telling me I can sell it for 260. I said, well, I'd love for you to sell it for 260. I don't see the numbers that support that. Where are they getting their numbers? Well, this house over on such and such street sold for 260. And I said, well, hold on, let me look it up because I have access to MLS and everything. And I couldn't find it. I said, well, I don't see any solds on that street or actives for that matter for that price tag. And I said, I do have a new listing on your street that is listed for the X amount of dollars, smaller house. But in line with what you would be pricing, at the 225. And so, anyway, he's now determined he wants 169. So his price went up from the 160 to 169. And I said, well, I'll go look back at the numbers, but I don't think I can get there. But I'll go check it out again. We have some new listings, maybe some new sales will come down the pipe. But in the meantime, what is he doing? He's waiting. And sometimes it just takes a little patience. He might still get to where our numbers match, but
Mm.
right now we're just not there. And I'll share the screen. Let me of what I use to look at the numbers. I don't want to give the address because I don't want this guy getting 100 different calls. But here we are. I have it. Let's see. Let me go ahead, share screen. Okay. All right. Now it's asking me which one to share. All right, here we are. Gotcha. Share. All right. Do you see that?
No.
No? It says I'm sharing on StreamYard.
Or am
All
I
right.
supposed to? Am I supposed to?
I don't know. Well, at any rate, the house, I looked at the numbers again with the new listings, and they came up a little bit to maybe, it says 238, the value of the house. I think in this market, you're not going to get 238. The agent he met with said 235. Um, I mean, you might get that, but you might wait for it.
Right.
So you have to determine what works in that realm. So maybe I could find somebody else to take this house on, but at this point, the numbers, you're typically the way I value something, and I'll tell you, is I look at the ARV, the after repair value, which I
Right.
think is 135, but on a conservative level, I'm reducing that to 225. But maybe for the banks, I use 235.
Right.
So 235, maybe 1,000 to lay down some floor that he already has. That's just labor.
Okay.
And then also, um, wait, let me get back to that sheet. So I'm looking at my numbers. Um, and then you're talking about, borrowing the money and everything and coming out with maybe here. I have another spreadsheet. So if he wants 169, if he wanted 155, the numbers work all day long. But
Okay.
that extra 16,000, or wait, no, 14,000 doesn't work, right? So if I put in 169, I'm coming away with the investor. Say you're using an investor who's getting 10% on their money, they'll make about 17,000 on their money in 3 months' time, which is a great return for an investor for borrowing private money.
Oh yeah.
And those are the people, and we've talked about this. So you have your hard money lenders and you have your private investors. Private investors are people who are sitting on money. They don't know what to do with it. They don't trust the stock market,
Right.
and they want something that's going to give them that return that's better than the banks. Like the banks, or the stock market is what, 7% on average. Your banks within a CD, I think, may top out at 5 or 6%. So private money, you're making 10%
Right.
or more potentially, depending on the project. But if somebody's making 10% on this project, they're going to make about 17,000, and then I'll have 14,000, 14,600 in selling costs. That's paying agents and the
Right.
closing costs, right? And then you have a 2% buffer, and then the projected profit with his number of 169 is 16,000.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
is that worth it? I mean, overall, my dog and cat are playing. Overall, it would be a $33,000 profit on the job for all parties involved. So
Correct.
that's not bad for not having to do any work. Not much
Yeah.
anyway.
No, no,
So
no. I think for investors who don't have anything besides putting their money in the pot, they're getting their return on average anywhere between 30, 60, 90 days, sometimes 6 months average at the
six,
highest, right?
right.
That would be the highest.
That would be the highest, though. In this neighborhood, priced right, things are moving in under 6 months. I would estimate no more than 3 months,
Okay.
from what I've seen on days on market. I wish the
Right.
sheet would show. We'll fix that for the next time we do this. But yeah, the ones that I've looked at, they closed in like 60 days or less.
Gotcha. Yeah. So it's, we have conversations on a daily basis right now with most individuals. I have a few individuals who have money out of their CD. They're wanting to play with it anywhere between 1 to 200,000 at least. They're wanting their money to move pretty quickly. They don't hold it up too long, but 6 months they pretty much are comfortable with at least, because they already have it into a CD. So you
Right.
have those type of individuals that are just looking for deals. They don't have, most individuals don't have the contractors, which you and I both know that is pretty much the process of not only finding the deal and negotiating the deal, making sure the numbers work, at the same time having the team in place. If it's not like this one's not a fixer upper, it's already done, but still you're going to have somebody come in and do minor stuff periodically.
Right.
Um, okay, I have a double. I'm hearing double.
I don't know
Oh, I
why.
see. I see what. Okay, hold on. Let's see. I see your spreadsheet. Hold on. Let me add the spreadsheet.
Oh, okay. We can still look at the numbers.
Okay, so now
So
are you off your phone?
I'm on my phone. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay. So just I was for some reason it was popping up on. Um,
I had paused it to sanction the dog and the cat. I brought the
no,
dogs on.
I was
They
hearing
were just,
double. I was hearing double. So I'm trying to figure out if the mic is working now. It looks like maybe.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is your spreadsheet. So the spreadsheet.
This is where I first look at the numbers. So
Got
we have the FDIF form, the funding department intake form. So
correct.
what I do is I review these numbers with other investors on a phone call. So I also have this in another form. So this one's not filled out because I took the information elsewhere. But I have it in my database. So I'll first take it in and I'll put in the Zillow numbers, Realtor.com, Redfin, that kind of thing, and just see what they tell me it's worth. But really, this is where in this sheet I actually put in the comps. So you'll see there are two solds here. You have one that sold in February. This one was this last sold. These are in the immediate area. And you see his house is over 1,600 square feet. So I have these solds in. I have these newer, these other comps that are listed that haven't sold yet. Um, Three of them are in line with the ones that sold at price per square foot, and one's fairly lower. It's an outlier, but I left it in there to kind of balance things out. Um,
Do you want to take the address out?
I don't have the address in here.
Okay. So I see the
Oh
address.
no, I do. Yeah, you're right. Well, shit, too late. At
The
least his
chances
phone
of
number's
people
not in
find
there.
everything that's
Oh well, if they have at it, he still wants more than what you can do this flip for. I'll fix that in the next time. Um, so
this is your spreadsheet. So this is pretty much how you kind of look at numbers, and this is how you put properties.
valuable part of this, yeah.
Yeah.
This
So
is
I
kind
mean,
of the initial way that I look at the numbers. I check this out. I check to see if there's a gain or loss here. I kind of I didn't factor in for that because I didn't trust the numbers, but apparently that area had gained about 4 or 5%. I think I deactivated the way this is running, but anyway, I still predict that it'll close at 225, but this is what the numbers are telling me, 238.
okay.
So I'm going with that and I'm running with it. If I were going to wholesale it, I'd put my fee in here, but it's just not a candidate for wholesale. There's no value add to it.
Right.
So I thought, well, let's take it down, find the investors to get, you know, either do hard money or get investors to participate. And at that point, I'm buying it at 64% of the price. So here, I'm going to put this back in here. And I have another calculator I use to kind of breaks down the hard money numbers more than this. This is just estimating to see if I even have a deal. Should I
Mhm.
even pursue this? And if the numbers say no, then I'm not going to worry about it. Um,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think we've talked about that many times. Is the time and energy you're going into these projects. It's like if the numbers don't work to where you're walking away with what at least 20 or 30,000, you get to the point to where it's just not worth the process, right? And
right.
some people may say, "Oh man, I can't believe that. I would take, I'll make 5, 10." And I guess as you're in this game for a period of time, you're realizing your time is valuable, and you're dealing with 30, 60, 90 days majority of the time. So when you add that up, if you can walk away with 15 to 20, that's an average, what, 5, 6,000, 7,000 a month, right?
Right.
Of that back and forth, dealing with the clients, or dealing with the process, dealing with the marketing, dealing with different factors.
Two closes, here in this flip calculator, I only have one close factored, because this is if I were to just be the end buyer, at least on this part, or this is what the flip contractor would have to deal with after just that initial close. So they'd make 17%, which isn't bad. Now, he wants 169. If I got him to 155, I could still flip it to a flip contractor, or that if they wanted it, and make, 5 or 10,000 on
Right.
that and sell it to them. But they'd make 17%, which is a great profit on a flip.
Correct.
Now, like I said, this is initial numbers, and this 95 rehab is from another project, so I don't have that in there. But and then you have the cash offer, wholesale flip, high end 169. Now, am I willing to do that when I'm borrowing hard money and everything? I don't know that I am, but it's a consideration at 169. So, but I want the numbers to work a little better than they do. So I'm going to keep talking to this guy and keep following up. And who knows, maybe we'll find somewhere in the middle to meet.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
No. I mean, it's really just, oh God, it's the challenge. I feel that most people just don't look at the back end. You're having a lot of conversations. You're dealing with a lot of emotions. You're dealing with all different types of factors, especially now where we are, at least in Louisiana, and I'm assuming other areas too. That between interest rates, between insurance, between time, it's just going through these numbers and going through a process is sometimes the biggest part that I find most people are reluctant to just start. You can't do this stuff by yourself. And you and I have had this conversation. That's why we're teaming up. So this show is sponsored by a few companies. So Louisiana House Partners is Lene. It's a company that she started up a while back, and that is basically designed to also help realtors in situations that if they have sellers that need maybe some minor fix-ups to their properties, and they don't have the funds, we're able to potentially help individuals with that. And at
With
the
a
same time,
partnership
she
type
works
deal.
with. Am I correct, Lene?
Yes, with a partnership type deal. Yeah. Partner with the homeowner and get the fixes they need done, and then put it on the market and get the highest price they can.
Okay, so that's something that we've been working on for quite a while. We feel comfortable now. We have some investors. We have individuals, the realtors that are
Execution team.
correct.
Yeah.
Plumbers, electricians, contractors, etc. So that's the process that it takes years to formulate. That takes trust. It's and between both of us, we have individuals who we have worked with through the years, that it's taken time through trial and error to get to that point. So Louisiana House Partners, Southern Cutters is lawn care landscape maintenance, and my consulting firm, Manfre Associates Consulting Services. We're in the process right now. 180 Recalibrate is an addiction and recovery platform that we're in the process of launching, and we're in infancy stage of developing an app and also courses. So a lot of the things that I do behind the scenes with all the different entities, it supports certain things that I feel or for not only my future, for other futures. And that's where Lene, myself, and a few others are involved into these things. So it's sometimes not just about making money or deals, but it's actually the back end of what these things support. So that's what this podcast show was created a few years ago. What's Your Passion podcast is all about. Everybody has a passion. And I just find that through the years of dealing with people, that's where we come in to help people. So between Lene and myself, we've been doing this for so many years. We deal with a lot of different types of individuals. I'm just now getting text messages right now from a good friend of mine that's up in Biloxi, and he's a successful contractor, but he's semi-retired, and he's still doing deals. And he's now texting me now that he's got a spa opportunity for investors, and he doesn't want to go out and do any more. His wife is telling him he can't borrow no more money. So texting me right now in the last 3 minutes that he's got this great deal. Investors who are interested in having a salon spa, where he's created these very very nice spas. And so every day I get a deal. All right, every day I'm getting something across the table. And this is a gentleman who's 75 years old, right?
Right.
And I tell everyone that in this world, and it's, I guess from my perspective, what I'm seeing is there's so many people that are in the game right now that they're just looking for either extra income, they're looking for career opportunity changes, they're looking for retirement, they're always looking. And sometimes they just don't know who to go to, how to understand. Like your spreadsheet is a beautiful spreadsheet that 99% of people do not do. Am I correct?
Right.
Because
Right.
they
They
don't
do the numbers in their head.
right. They try to do the numbers in their head, but they
Or
don't calculate all these little miscellaneous little things, right?
And I used to do that, and I've learned.
I think we all do. I mean, I'm running and going. So I have a good, really good friend of mine right now, Ed, that is um, the numbers person. He's doing all kind of things behind the scenes, and he straightens me out sometimes. And so that's why it's such a great team. And that's why I keep on saying it's very difficult to build anything by yourself because there's so many different moving parts and pieces. There's so much time in a day, and we only have so much energy, especially dealing with what you have children, you have school, you got
Yeah.
soccer practice. You're always doing something, right?
Always on the run. The mornings are my best times.
I mean, I get up and it's like, okay, I have a dog, and my dog is like a child, so I got to make sure to take her out. I got to pay attention to certain things because she wants her. So it's like every single day when you look at your time, and that's why a team is so valuable, and that's why we put on this show. That's what we're looking for: investors who want to get into the game, who want to be partners with us with certain projects. I have a salon that's in New Orleans right now that's been in business for over 20 years, and it's doing pretty much between 700 to 800,000 gross, netting right around 175 to 200,000. Incredible location inside of a boutique hotel, and right now that is a great opportunity for someone who already is in some type of spa um, business or industry. I think it would be a great location that's inside of like I said, inside a boutique hotel. Great numbers. And these two individuals, they just want to retire. That's it. They just want
Yes.
to. They had a great run for 20 years. So we have a lot of different things on the table. We have a lot of different projects coming in. I know Mississippi right now is my focus a little bit, Louisiana and Mississippi. So I think between Lene and what she has, and in addition, I think Lene, what you're doing is you're getting leads in different areas. So you're looking for agents, real estate agents, who are in some of these different areas who you can sell them the lead. Am I correct? So you're getting these
Yeah.
leads.
So I'm looking for agents in areas that we want to target. Um, More growth areas. New Orleans, I wouldn't say is that right now. So Mississippi, Texas, so some of the places I'm looking where you get these agents to partner with you. They could bring deals, but ideally, I start bringing leads in the door, and for most of the leads I get are going to turn into listings. I can't
Gotcha.
tell you, like every time I send out messages to the people I have in my database, I'll get one or two that said, "Hey, it's sold." Okay, great. Who sold it? Right? Did you
Right.
sell on the market or this and that? And a lot of them have been listed and sold. So those are leads that I can then give to those agents, right? Of course, we'd come up with a structured plan where they buy the lead or whatnot, and then maybe a referral fee on the after the fact, or I don't know. There are different ways to structure it. But the whole point is having one designated agent in those areas where I can feed leads to. And and they're softball leads. So they're people where I already know what they owe on the mortgage. I know they own the property. I've had a conversation with them, more than one usually, and I am now passing the baton to this agent and I'm handing it off. I'm not just tossing it over to them where they don't know anything. I'm like, hey, I know a great agent in the area that can really help you out.
And so you're like a personal assistant. I mean, you basically going through all the questions and everything up front. You're handing off, which every agent that I know that are top agents, they love those deals. So for them to pay what does an average lead cost for a realtor in these markets?
In these right now, about 150 to 200
So
for the lead
150 to $200 for a lead that is a pass
in
off.
those
You've already done
markets.
all the work. You've already prepped the individual and the potential seller in advance. You're passing off. So even Zillow, you can't. I don't think Zillow you can even buy leads right now that
No,
are prepped. Right? You're
not
buying.
correct.
You're getting. Yeah.
Right, correct. And these are people who raised their hand and said, hey, I want a cash offer.
Right.
They're motivated. They have a
Mhm.
need. There's something that brought them to that point, and they decided, no, I don't want a cash offer. It's not enough money. I need ROI. So at that point, they get passed off to an agent.
Gotcha. 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 Interesting.
So yeah,
So
and
I
so
think it's just again it's the process of finding the deals is a process of analyzing the numbers, having a conversation. So it's like these moving parts. And when I used to train real estate agents years ago, I used to have this chart and I showed them how many people are involved in a real estate deal, and I think it's somewhere around 20.
yeah,
And you're dealing with so many different parts where you're dealing with inspectors, you're dealing with title company, you're dealing with mortgage individuals most of the time, you're dealing
family
with
members,
insurance. Who's that?
family members.
Family members. And it's like this, and I think I shared with you over the last week. I feel like I'm becoming an air traffic controller.
Hmm.
You're saying come this way, come this, no, stop, right? It's really getting to that point where I'm starting to analyze so many things as I'm doing on a daily basis, whether it's conversations with people like you, partners like yourself. We have two other individuals right now I'm conversing with, and it's just the deals. And we always talk about this. We love deals. We love doing a deal. It's just that the process of doing a deal is just exciting to me. It's always a curiosity, figuring out the numbers, figuring out the process, getting to the next step. And where we find is most people do not know how to go through the process or go through the steps. And that's where this channel and what we're doing is we're helping individuals who are either on either side. You're looking to get out of a deal or you're looking to get into a deal. And we're just the middle people to help individuals through their process.
Right, right. Yeah. So
We take on the heavy lifting of the thinking, the years of experiences, whether it's successes or, and
right.
I think that is where in today's world it is so fast right now that people are going through um, trying to make these decisions. I'm just finding it. What is it that's making
Yeah,
money?
and
What is
people
it?
try to make them alone, and I think that's where they get overwhelmed.
Right,
Is so great. Like I tell you, I have other investors that I bring deals to and have them look at the numbers so they can keep me on track. So
right,
I don't get attached to the deal because they're like, nope, nope, not a deal, or it needs to be at this number. No, you can't go higher, you know, because sometimes you just want to make something work, especially if you like the people you're talking to on the end of the line. You know what I
right.
mean?
Hmm.
So anyway,
Well, I think this was a
yeah, I got
good
to go run and move kids around again. So this is perfect timing.
perfect timing. So it's we started early. We got our coffee. Um, so I appreciate your time, Lene. I'm looking forward
Likewise.
to our next one. We're going to try to figure out how we can do this on a weekly basis. Get a couple of shows out there. Get some feedback from individuals. If you have some interest on what you want to hear on this show going forward, send me a message, link me somewhere or wherever this channel is. Lanay, we're going to have this to where you can share it on your channels also. So I'll have this prepared and ready within the next over the weekend.
Also, if you have a deal that you say you have a house, you want to know what the best way to sell it or get rid of it is, whether it's a cash offer or a listing or whatnot, bring it to us. Maybe we'll have it, we'll sponsor it on the show and analyze it.
Good. Yeah, that's a great idea. All right, perfect. Well,
Perfect.
thank you very much for joining us here with What's Your Passion podcast show, and look forward to seeing you again, Lanay. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great day with the kids.
All right, you too. Bye bye.